We're here at the Zamperla factory in Vicenza in Italy. For the people who don't know you, the very few, can you explain who you are and what you're doing?
I would say that I don't know how to say it in English, but I would say that we are showmen. Basically, we come from the nothing grids of the industry.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to go along with portable rides on the trade shows, on the trade fair, and because he was building his own rides, and then he was moving with those rides. And my father actually was born into a tavern, so the whole family has been always around I would say the entertainment industry. So who am I? I'm just one of the luckiest person ever because I was born inside this factory, so to speak. And since I was a kid, I had to go to amusement rides. And still, at 40 plus years, let's say 45 more than 40, I still have to go to amusement rides and try roller coaster as a job. So
you have to. You said I didn't have to.
Oh, yeah, trust me.
I
It's so difficult usually whenever you go with friends and stuff like this. And so what you do? To amusement rides. What do you mean you do amusement rides? Yeah, well, I build amusement. Well, not only me, got other 400 people that helps me out, but that's what I do. They're like, well, is that a real job? Can I apply?
Exactly.
Because also back on the days, I mean, the lucky part that I had is that I was one of the most popular kids at school.
Of course.
I was selling tickets.
You were
I was selling tickets. Come on.
I thought you were testing everything.
Of course, but I needed to test everything. And in order to test everything, basically, how I do it? Well, I got to find friends. I got to put friends on the ride.
It's a social activity, of course.
Exactly. Because I needed basically people on the ride.
Exactly.
So I was tasked by my father to find friends and such in order to have them on the rides and take picture of them. And what he didn't know is that I was actually selling those tickets.
Entrepreneurship was in the blood, I would say.
Your first job was unofficial.
Exactly, totally unofficial. But then let's say the second job was at one of the trade show in Lipton. Was still is a showman's trade show in Tampa. That I have a couple of pictures of myself running the ride at 5 years old.
Wow!
Oh, trust me, it was the Pony Rodeo. Was one of the old ride that we don't manufacture anymore. But I do remember that I was there pushing the
button,
and I was so I was so proud of it. I was so invested in it. I had the job.
Exactly.
It was incredible, and still that kind of job still hasn't finished.
Because what I want to ask then is, if you started to have fun with your job at such an early age, what is the fun part of the job for you right now?
Damn it, the job itself. I mean, if you can call it job at this point, because, I don't know when I started at this point, when I really started to work, because it's really blending all together. We do every June for San Anthony, that is the 13th of June, we do a company party where we invite all the family.
Right.
So we usually give food to more than 800 people. We have some rides as well. And thanks to this, everyone inside the company is able to show to their family
what they're proud of.
What is the product.
Exactly.
And everyone inside the company sees the reaction of their kids directly.
Exactly.
And so the result of their work. Yeah. And this is something that has a value that you cannot even imagine.
Oh,
it's incredible.
So what would you say are the most important aspects you have learned over this last 15 years or so of being an operator? It's a long list. I know. Sorry.
So let me give you. No, that's a good one though. But let me give you two. Once, you cannot judge a ride by the ride itself, but by the exit. You got to look at the people how they exit. You got to look at the people's smile. You got to look at the people's eyes. You got to look if they got bored, if they got emotion, if they talk to each other. What is their reaction? So my favorite part of the ride, it's the exit. It's when the ride stops, because then you understand if the ride works and how it works. Mm-hmm. That's number one. The second one was back in Hollandia when we managed the park in Bergamo. That with my father, we always thought and we always believed that amusement rides and amusement parks are fully democratic because everyone smiles at the same, on the same way, and everyone is able to have fun, no matter of sex, religion, social status.
Doesn't matter. No.
It's not true. What we learned there is not true, because we were missing out a big part of it. The people that were not able to get on the road. So we were splitting basically families.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we learned in a hard way, so to speak, by looking at the family that were splitted, because we were not, as an industry, as a company, but as an industry itself, and still we are not doing as much as we can, focusing on actually being fully inclusive. So not splitting families, but actually keeping all of them. And that has been one of the missions, that has been one of the things that my father worked really hard in the last 15 years, to bring a ride for everyone as a program, really on the, let's say, as a mantra inside the company. Now we engineer every single ride that we engineer, we start with full accessibility of the ride itself. So it's already inside the engineering.
So it's not an adaptation, a little
absolutely
adaptation.
No. We start from the engineering, and one of the key points of the engineering is already that one. And because we do believe that we have a mission, as the mission that we have to put a smile on people's face, well, that's something that, again, thanks to Leolandia, we learned, and we are cherishing, and we are actually following through as a focus.
If you take a look at accessibility over the next 20 years, then let's go on the next Zamperla generation. How do you see this evolving even more?
Even more? Finally being, let's say, accessible really to everyone. To me, the industry has moved forward if we are able to follow through and have people with all accessibility and all inclusivity be able to access the rights.
Okay.
That's the goal. That should be our goal. That should be our mantra. That should be our vision as an industry.
Yeah.
And then every one of us would do and will do and has to do its own part.
Yeah.
But we got to put it loud and clear what and where we stand and where we want to go in 20 years.
Almost 15 years ago, we have run a program with the help of Zamperla and Leolandia and Miragica at that time, with fantastic Gianni Chiari, we always want to mention, of course. And this was to measure accessibility or rights for kids with Down syndrome. And we proved, with the help of the Italian safety ministries, safety and health, that kids with Down syndrome and kids without Down syndrome would have the same reactions.
Exactly.
So that was...
This was a program that was launched by my father, and was really to have a ride accessible for everyone. So it was called A Ride for Everyone. And so was taking a saliva swab, and understanding before and after a ride, what was the different type of excitement that someone that was not able to transfer their anxiety, their happiness, their level of stress.
Exactly.
And by doing this, understanding if the rides were safe or not safe, and which kind of feeling someone with a different type of accessibility had. And that has been really breakthrough for us as well. And that again was part of that kind of vision that my father had when he saw that we were splitting families. He wanted to understand more how to bring family together, not to divide them.
Why Zamperla is so into it? I mean,
it's within our mission. We do believe that it's not just about building rides. Again, I said before, I mean, we are able to touch people's life.
Yes.
But once you see a family in an amusement park that is not having fun, that someone is not having fun, it's heartbreaking.
Exactly.
An amusement park is a place of memories. It's a place of smiles, a place of people having fun. If you see someone that is not having fun, you got to understand why.
Exactly.
And you got to make it better. Your park, your ride, whatever it is.
Exactly.
So that was the commitment. Was, I would say, just because we wanted them to have fun. We want everyone to have fun.
Yeah.
And eventually, thanks to this, of course, you got more people at the park as an end result. But the first thing is everyone inside the park has to have fun. And we want to have everyone, everyone in the park.
And I think it's remarkable to see what you guys are doing in the industry. Give Kids the World is also a great example, I think, where everyone knows you're right there. If we talk about inclusivity and accessibility, we're now looking at disabilities. But if we look at 20 years ahead, like Massi says, especially in the Western world, there's a change in demographic. People age more. Is that something you take into account into your rights in the future?
Yes, what we do is really to look also at other industry, not our industry alone. So what happened also to other industry, and trying to understand how the entertainment is going to move in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, we do not have resources to understand, or we do not have a crystal ball to see in the future. But what we try is really to anticipate a little bit the trends, so to speak, and more than that, try to be on the forefront of innovation. Not be disrupted, but be the disruptor. So keep on, bringing new rights to the industry, new processes, new idea, because we do believe that there is a lot that can be done in our industry. We are only scratching the surface. Still now,
I agree.
we are still on the surface. I mean, there's a reason why IAAPA is keep on growing with the shows and stuff like this. I mean, there's a reason why the parks are investing, and there's a reason why the population basically is actually recognizing amusement park as more as their, I would say, normal way of entertainment.
So a recent research that I saw through university is that 71% of the people interviewed, it was in 3 continents. So we had Europe, then China, so Asia and the US. 71% declared that loneliness is an epidemic. So there is a strong, strong, strong feeling that we are all more connected, but in a way more lonely.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you see then the role of your creative side and your technological side, building and continue to building experiences where people, as you said, come together? What will happen to creativity and technology? Who will win there?
No.
Yeah.
No one should win. Actually, should blend together. But this is what we do. I mean, we put creative with engineers, and we shake them together in order to build a ride. I mean, you think it's easy to talk to artists and engineer and put them in the same room in order to find in order to find a way to build a ride? Trust me, it's one of the most interesting experience. Really, I mean, you got to be in the room whenever there's a brainstorming about new rides and new ideas. It's incredible. I mean, someone usually says to the creative, I mean, what physics has got to you? I mean, what's wrong with you and the physics? I mean, why do you hate physics that much? But this is the forefront of innovation, I do believe. But this is also where we need to push our industry as well. Technology, it's more and more into our world, and it will be, and it's going to be. But it has been, though. It's not just today. It has always been like this. So what we did is actually open up AI courses inside the company. I mean, really transversal to the whole company. We have our own server that is recording basically all the questions that we are doing in order to understand which are the points that we are lacking or what we need to improve inside the company as well. And then direct courses for different departments for different areas so that they can actually learn and master that. But it's no different from other technologies that are out there. I mean, we're talking about the 3D printing, which for the manufacturing is also a game changer, but we are still on its infancies. So what we are doing is, as I said before, also for the trend on building new amusement rides. For the rest of the processes, inside processes, what we keep on looking is at other industry, what they've done, best practices, and trying to bring it back. So adapting, of course, I mean, to our world, which is, as we know, totally different, but still, I mean, can we find so many similarities, and something that even if we are, again, a very small company, we do believe that because of all the challenges that we have, and with all the technologies that is inside an amusement park, you span from mechanics to pneumatics to hydraulics to electric. There's so much insight. Absolutely, yes. So our industry, one of the best mix of doers and builders in the rest of the world. I compare myself to other entrepreneurs and such, even bigger, even with more, let's say, complicated technical operations. But once they come here and they do understand what we do, they are completely astonished.
Of course.
They would not know how to start. While on the reverse, looking at what they do, almost like feel like so easy to do it. Like, what? Really? That's it?
I could come and manage it.
Absolutely, yes.
It's okay.
So so AI is gonna be more and more. We are already using it pretty much, and of course, I mean, with all the boundaries and such, we put the roadblocks basically in order to have people working on AI, but with roadblocks that are very, very strict in terms of sharing documents and such, but also in terms of program to develop them to start thinking in a different way. The difference will be in the next future. I do believe that every one of us will have its own AI persona that is built during the year that is able to answer to specific questions because of the knowledge of that person.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be just anymore about studying and understanding, lectures and stuff like this, but how to find things, real things, not fake things. So that's going to be the changes, and that's what we are teaching and learning to our people. So what we need is, first of all, to create something that is timeless. The rights that we try to bring.
It's easy, eh? How do we build timeless stuff this
Exactly,
morning?
yeah.
Love that.
So first of all, with technology that, let's say, doesn't expire that much, or doesn't expire so easily or so quick, first of all. But second of all, creating a bonding experience and adapting as well. When I was a kid, my parents used to put me in front of the TV. And I was basically absorbing, well, you two guys as well.
We are the same age. We're the same age.
So 24, right?
You are the old ones between the three.
Yeah, 26. I'm 26 and you're 24? Okay, that's good. Perfect. I like that.
It's 22.
Yeah,
Sure.
So what happened is this. I was put in front of the TV and I was basically watching whatever was on the TV. Now the kids are not watching whatever is on the TV, are actually interacting with the screen.
Yeah.
So the interaction and interactivity is something that is way more important. And this is where we are actually bringing also our rides, because people want to be more connected with the ride than just being taken from point A to point B, and that's it. So that's where we do believe that the future will come. More interactivity, more interaction, more ways to, so to speak, personalize your ride as well.
Strong keyword, huh? Personalization.
Exactly. So Zamperla is almost 60 years old now. 2026 is the year. Is there anything special we can expect?
Come on, we are Italian. Can you believe that? Yes, we're going to do something special.
Great
of
part.
course. That's the least that I can expect from myself. We want to live through our mission. Our mission is shareable, entertainable experience.
Yes.
So this is what we want to do, and this is what we want to get back. And we do believe that we have our own piece of history in our world. I mean, 9,000 rides around the world built in the last 60 years, and on every single year, we roughly counted that we touch 1 billion people that are going in our rides.
Wow, that's a big capacity.
Exactly.
Can you believe so? 1
There are
billion
very
people.
few people that are able to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks to this, and thanks to the fact that we bring smiles to 1 billion people, the least that I can do is to bring smiles to everyone that has contributed on us getting to the 60th Emirates.
Exactly. So we have Taylor Swift and we have Antonio Zamperla. Antonio, thank you so much for your time and your openness.
Thank you so much. You know that you're always welcome here.
Thank you so much.
Grazie mille.
Grazie.